And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Okay, there's a advisory out for winter weather advisory here for the eastern North Slope and the Prudhoe Bay area, the Arctic coast, and also winter weather advisories for the western Arctic coast, Noatak Valley, and the northwest coast, including Point Hope and Cape Lisburne. For and the advisories, looking at winds 45 or 35 to 55 miles an hour in gusts with reduced visibilities and blowing snow. And blizzard warning here for the eastern Arctic coast, Kaktovik, Barter Island, looking at winds possibly gusting to 65 miles an hour, which will create whiteout conditions and blowing snow there. And that's out through tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, satellite imagery showing a big mass of clouds out here to the west. That's some of that's breaking off and pulling into the northwest part of the state, up there with some precipitation, form of light snow there extending down to the Seward Peninsula area. Otherwise, the southeast Bering Sea, pretty nice conditions even for the central Aleutians. Eastward, a lot of sunshine today across much of southern Alaska under high pressure. Drying out, dry over the panhandle as well, and pushing that through, or rolling this again. See moisture down here, mostly staying to the south here, just sending up a few wisps of clouds to the Alaska Peninsula area there. And looking at today's analysis, again, that system staying down to the south, this high pressure area here, holding that to the south, and keeping this moisture out here with it ridging into the central Bering Sea. This storminess staying to the west and directing it northeastward, and then pieces of it break off here, clipping the Arctic coast there and the northwest interior. And then generally cloudy with areas of flurries or light snow showers over the mid and upper Tanana Valley 40-mile country today, but amounts are pretty light and negligible. And mostly sunny skies here. Still some gusty winds occurring up to 44 miles an hour at Seward out of the north earlier today. But dry conditions with maximum sunshine across southern Alaska this afternoon. And about the same over the southeast coast as well, with even lighter winds there. And for tonight, about the same pattern here. Mostly cloudy, maybe some snow showers in the central interior. Blizzard warnings and winter weather advisories continue for the eastern Arctic coast through tonight, as I mentioned. And windy with windy with snow, or rain and snow mixed here, as these southwest winds continue to edge the temperatures upward. And but down here to the south, another clear, cold night with light winds across the southern part of the state, especially south of the Alaska Range, Copper River Basin, Bristol Bay, Kodiak Island. Clear skies, mostly clear for the Panhandle with light winds as well. And out to the west there, storminess being held back by this high pressure area centered over the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta and southwest interior. Then for tomorrow, this front begins to make some advancement eastward, spreading rain at least to Atka Island, but the strongest winds and heavier precipitation getting directed up toward the Russian coast up here. And about the same pattern tomorrow as what we saw today, except temperatures on the upswing here. Probably areas of rain and snow mixed along the northwest coast and rising into the 30s there with continued southwest flow. Better conditions improving for the eastern Arctic coast during the afternoon hours there, with winds diminishing and probably losing the advisories and warnings by tomorrow evening. High pressure continues to dominate the remainder of the state, right on down into the Gulf of Alaska, southeast Bering Sea, as well as the Panhandle. So going on to the outlook for Monday, we'll see, back that up a little, we'll see this front out here tracks up to the northeast and really weakens here, but still pretty windy conditions there. In fact, Cape Lisburne, Point Hope, see the strongest winds up in that area with mixed precipitation along the coast into the Brooks Range, some snow, and then light amounts of precipitation on the trailing edge of this front back across St. Lawrence Island. Southern Bering Sea, pretty nice, high pressure, ridging from the center, still holding over the southwest interior here across that area. Light winds, very light winds for the Aleutians on Monday. Very light and variable winds, Kodiak Island, central, eastern interior here. High pressure, Arctic high pressure now into the Yukon. So that's probably kicking the winds up, those northerly gusty winds through the passes of the northern Panhandle area. But dry conditions and mostly clear skies. Lows tonight for the southeast coast, mid-20s in the north to lower to mid-30s to the south. and anywhere from 5 below to 10 above here for the eastern interior Copper River Basin, and in the teens here for south central Alaska once again, Kuskokwim Valley as well, and then warming into the 20s out toward the coast, mid-30s, St. Lawrence Island, the Pribilofs, lower 40s for the Aleutians, and 0 to 10 below for the Brooks Range into the North Slope areas, teens for the Arctic coast. Highs for tomorrow, 15 to 25 for the central and eastern Arctic coast. You can see going above freezing for the west side there, and mid-30s here for the Seward Peninsula, Kotzebue Sound, upper 30s St. Lawrence Island, in the 30s here over the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, mid-30s for Bristol Bay, mid-40s Kodiak Island, upper 40s for the Alaska Peninsula, as well as the central Aleutians, 51 out at Shimia, highs in the 40s for the Panhandle, except from about Juneau northward in the 30s, near 20 for the Copper River Basin, 30 to 35 south central Alaska. Lows the following morning, coldest in the east, warmest here in the west, ranging from 37 at Savunga to -2 at Eagle, maybe -11 at Arctic Village, and 5 in the Copper River Basin, teens for the Kuskokwim Valley, and lower or near freezing for Kodiak Island, and lower 20s, northern southeast coast, mid-30s to the south, and the highs for Monday afternoon, near 40, Bristol Bay, 45 Kodiak Island, 45 to 50 for the Alaska Peninsula and the Aleutians, and mostly in the upper 20s, northern Panhandle, lower 40s to the south. Again in the 30s and near 40, south central Alaska, warmest toward Homer and Seldovia. Coolest in the east, in the teens and 20s there, and then 40s or 30s, the lower 40s here, Seward Peninsula, Bering Strait, and near freezing, central Arctic coast, above freezing on the west side, and staying in the mid-20s on the east side.